Up until Strive, the Guilty Gear franchise has always been known to be very unforgiving when it came to execution. Even so, the option to use more complex commands still exists in Strive, although they are not necessary to play the game competently. These higher level techniques allow the player to squeeze out just a bit more effectiveness from the character if the player chooses to master them. Today I want to go over some of these situations with our main character, Queen Dizzy, and offer some tips on how to do them easier. But first, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel this sort of content is useful. My name is Nagai, your Guilty Gear OG-san. Alright, let's just safe jump right into it. Technique number 1. A simple yet essential sequence. Short dash into heavy Mikhail sword. This is really useful if you want to go for some extra damage off a full screen ice spike snipe. What you want to do is this. Simply tap dash macro and then input quarter circle back heavy. Now, notice that I'm calling it a short dash and not a micro dash. That's because in certain combos, you actually do not want to do the fastest dash possible. Giving Dizzy more time during the dash allows her to get in closer for more possibilities. If you're having trouble with that slightly delayed timing, consider trying this. After the ice spike, hold forward, tap the dash macro, and then do a half circle back instead of a quarter circle back into heavy slash. Sometimes if I'm going too fast, I sort of trip over my own buttons and the intended attack doesn't come out. Not only does a half circle motion delay the Mikhail sword, but it helps smooth out rushed motions. Remember, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. No need to rush this out. And don't forget to turn on guard after first hit in the block settings so you know you're nailing this. Okay, next technique. The dash cancel Firespear. This is an interesting one, and perhaps less relevant now since the Firespear loop has been removed. Regardless, if your intention is to use Firespear in close slash block pressure, there's almost no reason why you shouldn't do this. By dash canceling it, you move forward a little bit, which helps maintain pressure on block.
Let's go, bub.
Alright, so how do we do this? Do one of your dash cancelable attacks, such as close slash or standing kick, wait a little bit, input the Firespear motion, and then press dash macro followed by the kick in quick, smooth succession. In other words, P-link the dash macro button with the kick button. Getting this right is a little tricky, but here's a tip that helps me perform this consistently. Do not rush the Firespear. Once again, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You can delay the timing quite a bit after the dash cancelable button, and if you happen to stall too much, the Firespear can turn into a frame trap.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Okay, so let's say we're still having trouble with this. I recommend practicing this outside of the dash cancel situation. For example, do the Firespear motion with dash macro into kick, back to back, not making contact with the enemy. Between each Firespear, it should look like you're slowly moving forward. Okay, so now we know that we're not messing up the dashing Firespear, let's go back and try it on our dummy. While we're at it, make sure input history is toggled on. Hopefully by this time you're getting it, but if not, let's do some troubleshooting. If you're only seeing the Firespear with no dash cancel, you're doing it all too fast. Slow down. If you're seeing the dash without the Firespear, it's likely there's too much delay between the dash macro and the kick button. The timing needs to be in quick, smooth succession. Go back and practice the input without making contact on the training dummy, and then try again. Moving on. Let's talk about an interesting technique that I'm currently working on. After Icefield, Microdash, Wings of Light, 2K2D. This one's pretty rough, and I'm not entirely too sure if it's actually worth the effort. Now, this technique isn't by any means a requirement to play Dizzy, as you can always activate Wings of Light later on in the combo. But starting the Wings of Light timer a bit sooner might just be what you need to close out a game. Alright, so there's actually a trick to this. What you want to do after the ice field is hold the down input. Once you recover, let go of the down input, tap dash macro, and press down and heavy slash together. What's important is that you do not have to double tap down to activate Wings of Light. Strive's input reader considers holding down the first part of the down-down motion. Knowing this really helps simplify the input, although the timing of the overall sequence is still quite unforgiving. Listen, if you do this too fast, like we're talking back-to-back one-frame timing, you barely move forward and the combo drops. If you're too slow, the combo also drops. You have to be perfect. But you know what they say, practice makes perfect. If you're having a hard time getting any of these techniques down, make sure you take breaks between practice sessions. At first, some of these higher level sequences may seem impossible. You may struggle to get 1 or even no successful attempts out of 10, for instance. But after wrestling with it in one practice session and then taking a break, you may be pleasantly surprised to find yourself more consistent the next time around. Repeat this process and eventually you'll be confident enough to do this effortlessly in an actual match. If you want to know my secret lapping tech, listen up. I would practice something I struggle with twice a day, once in the morning and once before bedtime. I count my successful attempts at a 10, and then I would continue to practice daily until I reach a success rate of at least 9 out of 10. If I cannot get it at least 9 out of 10 times, I would not even try it in an actual match. But yeah, basically that's been my method and standard for the last 20 years. It's something that works for me, and if you want to try it out, I hope it works out for you too. Now you might be thinking, dude, it takes way too long to boot up Strive to practice morning and night. Well, now you can, with Guilty Gear Strive available on the Nintendo Switch. You can literally wake up and safe jump right into it. Not sponsored, by the way.
Nice car.
If you use a non-Switch console, you can always leave your game in training mode while you put your system to rest. That's what I do anyway, but I'm boring and all I do is play Guilty Gear. I suppose that might not be realistic if you enjoy fun and play other games. Anyways, I hope this has been helpful. There are more techniques I'd like to share, some of them more fundamentally essential like the dash jump, but I'll save that for another time. If you enjoyed this video, a like, comment, and subscribe is much appreciated. As always, I'll have match footage at the end here to highlight what I just talked about. Match footage is taken from my streams, so if you want to check that out, the Twitch link will be down below. Remember to practice and never give up. Be better than yourself from yesterday. Alright, anyway, take care everybody. A little intimidated by this, by Mr. Leafs, Mr. and Mrs. Leafs ranking. That's a lot of games played. Oh. Yeah, good idea to save the burst for next round. So that was an opportunity for me to cancel. Here we go. What? Okay. No worries. Your starters, was it? How's it going? Oh, yes! That was sick.
Jackpot.
That was sick.